Thank you, Nick. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, before I get on with the tradition of trying to embarrass the groom, I'd like to start by thanking many of the people involved in today on behalf of the bride and groom. First of all, I'd like to thank a few people who, on the face of it, have had a fairly easy day. They've had to cope with all the difficulties of standing around, painting, and looking pretty. They spent lots of time on their hair, their makeup, and outfits today. And without them, the day wouldn't have been so special. Ladies and gentlemen, can you please put your hands together for gorgeous, fantastic ushers. I'd like to thank Nick for all his kind words about the maid of honour, bridesmaids and page boys, who all look wonderful and did an excellent job today. Well done. Finally, a thank you to everyone that's attended and shown your love and support for Nick and Katie on their special day, especially those that have made a particularly long journey to be here, sharing their wedding day. Everybody here looks fantastic, and you're only rightly outshone by Katie herself. I think everyone will agree it looks absolutely stunning. Without doubt, Nick, you've done extremely well and found yourself somebody who I think we'll all agree is beautiful, intelligent, funny and caring, and Katie, you found Nick. Whoever said a marriage had to start out balanced. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Ash, and a long-term friend of Nick's. I've known Nick, or Clarky, since we were 11 years old. We both first met when we started in the same secondary school, Tommy Rich's. We met on an introductory day where all the new pupils attended to make friends and play silly, stupid games. During this day, we all sat in a circle as part of one of the games and had to throw a ball to one another and say the person's name after we threw the ball. I could never understand at the time, but Nick repeatedly threw the ball to me. And it wasn't until years later, till very recently, he told me it was because mine was the only name he could remember. Through our 7 years of school, Nick and I remained very good friends and spent the first 5 years in the same form class. We socialised together, in and outside of school, and Nick was very popular at school and always had friends asking to stay over at his house. Can I just point out, this was all because everybody wanted to be Nick's friend, and nothing to do with the fact that he had an older, attractive sister. After our exams, we both stayed on at sixth form, having achieved similar results. We'd regularly go out together in town clubbing. And after 2 years, we went our separate ways to different universities. Nick went to Staffordshire where he met his bride, Katie. While at university, we made friends and still managed to go on a couple of lads' holidays, as well as going out on the weekend. I think it is, actually. Hello? Yeah. Since moving back to Gloucester, Nick and I have joined the same football team, Blackbridge, and very recently Nick is taking me under his wing and began to teach me golf. I think it is going. I guess having been good friends with Clarky for the last 17 years makes me fairly well qualified to be his best man, and the best man to dish the dirt on Clarky. Well, I must still admit it was a surprise, to be honest. I think it's going, yeah. In preparing to write this speech, yes, it was prepared. I sought advice from people that have previously given best man speeches, as well as speaking to my work colleagues, other friends, family, and my partner Leanne. They've all. No. I think it'll die. They've all given me advice on what not to include in the speech. I've had to take some cuts to the speech as a result. I've been told not to make any reference to any of Nick's previous girlfriends or female conquests.
Let them do that. I'd wait. It's going to be nicer if they can.
Sorry.
Just needed you, Rochelle, mate.
Yeah.
Do a little jig or something. Hello. Much better. I'll just briefly go over again. So lots of people have given me advice on what not to include in the speech. I've had to make some cuts to the speech result. I've been told not to make any reference to any of Nick's past girlfriends or female conquests. Unfortunately, I've taken this bit of advice on board and agreed. So sadly, I had to cut the speech by a good 15 seconds. Sorry about that. Clark has also given me some advice on what to include in my speech and what not to. If you saw I meant to sing the groom's praises, I'll tell you all about his good points. Sorry, mate, but I can't sing. I don't lie. Okay, most of Clarkie's embarrassing exploits involve his inability to hold his drink, and his drunkenness has previously got him in trouble with the law on more than one occasion. By the time he got stopped by police when he was 18 for drink driving, and somehow, by some miracle, he passed the breath test, despite going in several aftershocks with me on that night. Or the night that Katie had a big nick up from town at 11 o'clock because he couldn't physically stand on his own 2 feet and was being held up like a puppet. And that was only 1 year ago. However, the story that speaks most to my mind is my first lad's holiday with Clarkie, when we went to Faliraki in Greece. It wasn't either of our first lad's holidays. Nick had previously gone to Tenerife with another group of lads, but I've never held that against him. Anyway, we went to Faliraki for 2 weeks, had a fantastic time, drank lots and ate well. There was one particular restaurant that we made our second home during that holiday, a family-run Greek restaurant. Outside the restaurant was an antique ornate vase, like 8 foot big. You know what it's going to be. They had a pride of place at the front of the restaurant, by the entrance. The vase was very decorative and looked priceless. We all joked most nights that it would make a great, fabulous trophy to return home with, but none of us dreamt of taking it. Now, towards the end of the holiday, after another night of drinking, we began the slow walk back to our hotel, which took us past this Greek restaurant. Whilst walking past without any warning, Clarkie snatched the antique vase from the outside of the restaurant, put it on his arm, and ran. Before he realised what had happened, he was off and he was being chased by 2 of the students from the restaurant. I've never seen Clarkie run so fast. So, all the lads, we gave chase as well, trying to catch them up. Now, it was clear Clarkie hadn't thought this through. And he wasn't the cleverest thief. Where did he run? Did he run into the crowds? Did he try and outrun the males? Or did he hide? He did none of those and ran straight to the hotel, taking the 2 men with him. We all followed behind, and on reaching the hotel, we saw the 2 men in the bar area, speaking to the hotel staff, but there was no sign of Clarkie. We decided to split up. Some of the boys went upstairs to see if they could find him, while me and a couple of the others attempted to speak to the men and calm them down. It wasn't long before the local police were called and came, and we tried our best to deny any knowledge of what had happened, or even knowing Clarkie. Eventually, the men and the police got bored of our drunken excuses and left when they couldn't find him. We all then went upstairs to one of the rooms where Clarkie was and been told by the others they'd found him hiding in the wardrobe, still holding the vase. For the rest of the night, me and the others began scaring Clarkie, saying that he could be arrested, he's likely to go to prison, and he's going to get his hands cut off. And he did believe us. We all went to bed, and I woke up the next morning to find Nick smiling in a fairly buoyant mood considering. He then proudly told me that he'd got up early in the morning at about 5:30, gone to the beach where he'd buried the vase. Now I'm sure you're all thinking this must have been a one-off, and that the Nick you know wouldn't do anything like this again. Well, unfortunately we didn't have to wait long until on the next lad's holiday to Crete, he was up to his old tricks again. A Welsh drunk decided to steal a bottle of spirits from behind the bar.
Sorry.
Our group, we were all chatting to a group of girls in the bar, when Nick reached behind the bar, snatched the bottle, turned and started running. Unfortunately, he didn't get very far as he ran straight into a wall, smashing the bottle in his hands. And he was just left holding the neck of the bottle. We then had to leave the bar and the girls. Now, with this in mind, I'm going to put my policeman's hat on now and offer some crime prevention advice. But I just remind all guests that throughout the rest of the day and through the evening, not to leave any valuables unattended. As by my count, Clark is on his 3rd drink. Well, as best man, I was supposed to offer some insight into married life for the bride and groom. And never having been married myself, I'm not sure I'm qualified to give such advice. Because of this, I've gone on searching on the county for happily married couples that could offer some advice for me to pass on to our newlyweds. However, I'm still looking for those people. Because of this, I've searched the internet and come up with 3 bits of advice that I think will help you in the years to come, Clarkie. Number 1. Firstly, set the ground rules and establish who's the boss. Then do exactly everything she says. Number 2, the best way to remember your anniversary is to forget it once. And finally, the last one is to help the course of true love run smoothly. Never forget those 3 important words. You're right, Kate. As I reach the end of the speech, I have got a few things I'd like to say about Clark and our friendship. I'm sure I'm not alone when I say Nick is just about the nicest bloke I know. In 17 years of friendship, we've never had an argument or crossword between us, and I've never heard anyone say a bad word about him, except on the football pitch. Nick is the kind of guy everyone would love to have as a friend. Funny, witty, popular, and he would do anything for any of his friends. I've seen firsthand how much he loves and cares for Katie, and Katie couldn't have married a finer man. A better drinker, sure, but not a finer man. Joking aside, I want to say that it's been a privilege being your best man today, Nick. I'm thrilled for both you and Katie. Finally, I'd like to present my wedding gift to you. If I can ask Nick Bailey to come up and do the presentation. It's been a nightmare to find, a struggle to get through customs, and I've got it all the way. I've got it all the way from Falowaki, your trophy, your vase. There you are, Clarky. Ladies and gentlemen, can you please now be upstanding? Can you now raise your glasses to my very best friend and his beautiful new wife, to Nick and Katie Clark. Thank you, George.